Let's get to the money.
Let's get to the
Money.
Let's get to the
Money. Let's get to the motherfucking money.
Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the ass screaming fuck the bookies. Woke up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmaker's getting cooked. When I spot a dirty K of 4 units getting played, always find the value, I would never be afraid. Scary money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty old picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-pop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the ass screaming fuck the bookies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies.
And here we go.
Yes, but I do the Gone in 60 Seconds, but they call me the Joker, so it is what it is. Welcome to the Balking Dead, fellas, where there is no sleep for the wicked. And shout out to High Water Mark out in the chat. You goddamn right I'm going to be mad if I didn't come into a bunch of likes, man. We went 5-1 yesterday, putting money in your pockets, and all I ask for is a damn like, so smash it if you have it. And it's Tuesday, guys. You know what that means. We bring in the only person in the real world that I respect their opinion on K-Prop, Spin Doctor Sports. I know we both were on Monty last night, and man, isn't it nice to see a coach trust a guy after 91 pitches?
Sure was. I knew as soon. I told my VIP people that I'm like, if he goes out there one more, he gets it. The only thing that's going to cook us there is a manager hook. And thankfully, manager trusted his pitcher.
Man, my breakdown for that is I can't bet him as a Yankee, but they trust him as a Cardinal. And I knew at 91 he was coming out. I knew it.
Mm-hmm.
I was dead set. Like, I needed 6 for 6. That's why I played his outs with his strikeouts yesterday. I was like, this correlates way too much, dude. I have to. This guy's not a strikeout guy, dude. He throws a damn freaking sinker ball. Like, we need those 6 innings. We got it. And, yeah, let's keep it rolling, though, fellas. We got a big card to talk about. They did kick one guy out, but we'll still add a few on at the end. And, yeah, this show is sponsored by PrizePicks, guys. If you haven't, go on over there. Use promo code PUBSPORTS on your first deposit. They will match you up to 100, minimum of 25. Also, guys, we do have another sponsor on this show, guys. We're bringing you an energy powder without all that bullshit chemicals that Big Pharma's trying to kill us with. Dubby, guys, and we ain't talking about doobies. Dubby has a nice boost with no come down to your day. By using promo code PUBSPORTS, guys, you're going to get 10% off your first order. So scan the QR code on screen, use promo code PUBSPORTS, and get you some of that good thanks to the fellas over at Pub Sports Radio. On this show, guys, you guys already know I will talk about the pitchers, give you your information, give you my bets or the reasons why I stay off. And on Tuesdays, we get 2 peoples that are 2 years over, guys, at least 62% and up winning, guys. So there ain't many people out there that win at a crazy percentage. And that's why I do bring this guy on. Tracking your bets means something to me. Like he said earlier, I see people, or when we were talking, I see people with 7 strikeout props. Yeah, they also don't track their shit and probably donate a lot of money. So at the end of the day, we like to withdraw on this show. So enough talking. Let's get into it. Shout out to the chat. Appreciate you all for coming. Shout out to the best producer in the world, Big Show Picks. Y'all know the drill. Smash the like, hit the retweet, and make sure you have them notification bells on. April, always been my worst month, guys, betting strikeout props. Been down the last 2 years heading into May. Well. After a slow start, mother truckers, I'm at 62% on the year and a blazing 78% on my last 31. We have rules, we make lines, and then we attack when the time is right. And I run from what they want me to bet. Y'all tend to bet it under, but let's get to the money. On this show, guys, we use FanDuel lines because they tend to come out first. I compare them to what PrizePicks has up, and then we go from there. First guy we were going to talk about was Logan Gilbert, but he got pushed to tomorrow. So at the end of this show, we will touch on Jose Barrios and the freak Mason Miller. Seeing I wanted to get some action on them today, so I also have another 2-pick on PrizePicks that I'm loving. So let's talk some damn baseball. First one on the board, number 49, Luis Garcia at these deadly Tampa Bay Rays. Last year, he had a 24.4 K percentage and a 7.3 walk percentage. This year, he's up to a 26.4 K percentage and an 8.3 walk percentage. Morning line was a 5+ at -150. Now at a -144 on FanDuel. He is starting to come back down the life on some of the books, guys. You can get him for a -125. PrizePicks is at a 5, so you would need a 6 to cash, or a 5 will be a push, and his pitching outs or his pitches on PrizePicks under over 91.5. And that's the way I'm going to go attack this when I get into my breakdown. Projected lineup, 6 righties, 3 lefties. Last year, he averaged 9.3 strikeouts per 9 at home, 8.7 on the road, 8.5 versus the left-handed side, and a 9.5 K per 9 versus the right-handed side. Batting average against last year, lefties hit 234, righties hit 213. Home, he had a 234 batting average against, and on the road, an elite 208. Spin Doc, what you got for these fellas?
All right. So, Mr. Garcia. So, first off, let's talk about the Rays. So, over the last 15 days, 24% strikeout percentage against righties. Now, that is a little bit higher than what they have had for the season. The thing that I think about when it comes to righties against the Rays at home is that heading into last night, 8 consecutive right-handed pitchers against the Rays had hit 5+ strikeouts. The only one who missed is Urquidy last night. So looking in deeper into the metrics, Garcia doing really well now, ever since after a little bit of a rocky start, but 82nd percentile chase rating, 85th percentile whiff rating. That kind of contrasts with the Rays swing metrics, especially at home where they're more patient. But when I look at Garcia here, so far this season, Garcia himself is averaging 1.14 Ks per inning. Rays are allowing over the last 15 days 1.04 Ks per inning. So that is really, really close. You also have, using those metrics, if you're projecting that out, for Garcia to hit this number, he would probably need to throw a full 5 innings. The thing that worries me a little bit here is that the Rays have just been touching guys up at home. And if you're not going to get, say, that like 2 or 3, like have like 3 strikeouts in 2 innings or 2 in the first inning, they are a team that around the 5th inning can just bother just annoy the shit out of you. They did it yesterday with Urquidy, and actually Urquidy had about 5 or 6 chances to get out of that inning, and they just kept like the Piranhas that if for those of you that remember the old Twins team that made the playoffs without hitting any home runs, they were called Piranhas because they just manufacture runs. Bloop single here, extra base there. So this one seems pretty right on the line for me. Obviously, there's a stat that I gave about 8 of the last 9 right-handed pitchers to face the Rays at home have had 5+ strikeouts, even the ones that have gotten cooked, with the exception of Urquidy last night. That said, I'm just not actively looking to bet this one because I would be looking at the over here, and I'm not paying -150 juice for somebody on the road at Tampa Bay.
Man, how great minds think alike, guys. So at the end of the day, 4.5 Garcia trap. Sure the fuck not, guys. Garcia faced these Rays 2 times last year within a 10-day period. Pitched well in both games, going 5 and 6 innings with less than 1 earned run, guys. So he only struck out 4 in each game. Now, on top of that, Garcia's strikeouts have gone up at home since being in the league, and he's on the road here. and he has a 50% win rate to the over 4.5 line. So the line's right, but the juice is way, 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 way off here, guys. Should not be higher than a minus 110, in my opinion. So the books to me are saying, please don't bet this man today. And if you do, we're going to tax your ass. So he has started to come down, guys. I saw him on MGM right before this show at a minus 125. And if I can get that number at minus 125, I'll get into it. But I'll bet a half unit on him today if they give me those 6 righties they're projecting. We've talked about Garcia a few times on this year and how he has had issues with his new windup, guys, after not being able to rock the baby like he used to. Well, last week it seemed the issue with his windup has been solved. So, woof! Now he gets a race team like my guy next to me said. By the numbers, it favors the K prop if you're going to look at the walk and K percentage. But there's a boatload of volatility in there if you're going to look at their batting numbers and what they bring to the table. Now, if you do load up a bunch of righties like they're projecting, they're going to force my hand, guys. But I am 8-1 this year betting K props minus 140 and over. And I am not willing to pay the juice for this man that they put him at on a lot of these books on the road and versus a team that could run him out this game within 5 innings like this guy was talking about. There is mass volatility here. And if I do get in on him once the lineups come out, it'll be a half unit play only because the fact is he can get his ass handed to him. The way I will attack Garcia, though, guys, is over 91.5 pitches. And that's going to be the first play on PrizePicks of the 2-pick today. I think this guy pitches a good game, 5-6 innings. And Dusty Baker is a player's coach if there was ever one. Urquidy got yanked. They had to go to the pin early. And they need this guy to go out there and pitch a little deep today, guys. So I like him over 91.5 pitches on PrizePicks. And even if he's getting touched, he's going to have to eat some innings right now after the bullpen day yesterday. So at the end of the day, I think this is a great spot for Garcia. Let that juice come down to a minus 125 that I can bet, and I'll put a half unit if they give me those 6 right-handed bats because he does strike out righties at a better clip. So anything else to touch on?
Yeah, just 2 more things about Garcia. Or actually one about the Rays and one about Garcia. You said it too, with the way that the Rays can get pitchers out of the game. It's not really by jacking a bunch of home runs, swinging for Mars, anything like that. It's death by 1,000 cuts. And what I mean by that is exactly what I said before. It's infield single here, stolen base there, bunt over here, slap Texas leaguer over here, just boom, 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 boom. And what they end up doing, what I've seen them do with multiple right-handed pitchers this year is they just fuck with their heads. And then you saw it with Urquidy yesterday in that they were just slapping his fastball around. He wasn't able to put guys away with the curve. So he finally found a pitch against, I think it was Lowe, who with his sweeper where he got him to swing. No, it was Ramirez, where he got him to swing twice way outside of the strike zone. Well, Urquidy all of a sudden decided, okay, well, that one's working. Nothing else is. I'm going to go back to that one. And sure enough, he was expecting it and smacked it into the outfield for a hit. And that was the end of Urquidy. Now, the other thing I want to touch about with the Rays is that with what my guy Sharpie here said about pitches. So the Rays are 30.4% swing rate outside of the zone. That's 24th in the league. So that's a decent percentage. Where that comes into play here is Garcia only throws a first pitch strike 57.1% of the time. Normally for pitchers who are going to go through innings rather quickly, you see that at 60. What that tells me is that he is trying to clip the corners, trying to get those early strikes, not afraid to go down 1-0, 2-1 in counts because of his skill level, he can catch back up. Where I'm going with this is if you do that every inning, your pitch count can rack up. And to your point, Sharpie, since the bullpen had to be used early last night, Dusty Baker is a pitcher's manager for sure. Maybe only second to Melvin for the Padres. When you have those things in play, chances are pretty good he's going to throw a bunch of pitches, regardless of how many innings he goes.
Yeah. Garcia, when you touched on that real quick, has been the worst in the league since being in the league at throwing first pitch strikes. But yet he's still an elite pitcher. That's just how freaking nasty he is. And then to touch on what you said about base runners, he has always been worse out the stretch. So the more base runners, the worse you're going to get out of Garcia. So temper your expectations, but it's still over or not for both of us there. Now let's talk about old man Charlie Morton and what should be a good spot, but let's talk about it. Number 29 in the black book, Morton versus these Marlins at home. 2022 last year, he had a 28.2 K percentage and a 9.7 walk percentage. This year, 16.5 K percentage and a 9.7 walk percentage. Wouldn't put too much into that 16.5. He has faced some elite non-strikeout teams, and my boy next to me cashed in on the time where he only got one. So yeah. Opening line 6+ minus 145. Closing line is now at a minus 150. So on PrizePicks, they have him at a 6. You're going to need a 7 to cash, or else it's a push. And his fantasy score on PrizePicks under over 31.5. Projected lineup is 7 righties and 2 lefties. Last year at home, 12.1 K per 9 compared to a 9.3, and he is at home 10.5 versus lefties and a 11.1 versus the right-handed side. And they are projected 7 righties, 2 lefties. Yes, they're still projecting Arias. I can't find if he's going to be in the lineup or not, but still, they're saying he's not by the juice on his prop. Betting average 2022, lefties hit 229, righties hit 236. At home, 205 batting average against. Once again, he's home today, where on the road, it's a 261. What you got on the old Uncle Charlie?
Yeah, so when I look at this line, to me, especially where it was a little bit ago on DraftKings with 5.5, the over is minus 175 and the under is plus 130. That to me is saying, tell me that you want action without having to move it to 6.5. They don't want to move this to 6.5. And I believe that there are several reasons why. Number one is, as you mentioned, with the right-handed bats, strikeout percentage only 12% against right-handed bats this year. Yes, he's faced some lower strikeout teams, but he did also face, the Royals. He also faced, so he's had a few where you're thinking, okay, like this can be a strikeout spot, but only 12% against right-handed batters. The other thing here is only 55.3% first strike percentage for the year. That is one of his lowest starts to the season. The other thing to factor in here is that's a healthy contrast, actually, when you have the Marlins, who are at 65.9% over the last 15 days, first strike percentage. They are one of the worst in baseball. Now, granted, that does factor in Strider's gem from last night, so it's maybe a little bit lower against a more normal pitcher. Morton, too, against this projected lineup, not as much strikeout success as you might think. 21.8% in 124 plate appearances. That is not what you would expect to see from Uncle Charlie, especially with that breaking ball, especially with that curve that he can throw, which has just fooled the shit out. Actually, a lot of pitches have fooled the shit out of Marlins hitters, but curve especially. So I see this one as if it was a different team, that's not like the Tigers or the Giants, I would probably be very, very interested in doing a lot of deep dive metrics on the under. I cannot trust the Miami Marlins on the road to take for an under here. I especially can't trust them if you believe in the narrative, regardless of who it was against, that the day after striking out 5 bazillion times like they did last night, that a team will come ready to make contact, especially if Arias is in the lineup. So for me, the plus 130 on this one is usually a much healthier plus price than you get for props that are juiced to the over. Normally you see plus 115 to plus 120. So that to me is just begging you to take that side again without having to move it to the 6.5. So either way, it all adds up to I just don't know I certainly don't want to swallow that much juice. I'm not even sure that I would like a 6.5 at plus money. So for me, there's probably just a pass.
Yeah, man. And after everybody watched Strider yesterday, they woke up and bet Charlie Morton, I bet. Like, this smash spot, right? Hold up. Let's talk this through. The line should be 5.5, guys, but man, oh man, are they taxing the shit out of you for what Strider did to these boys yesterday. Now, we know about the Arias tax, guys. it goes down 30 to 40 cents on a pitcher's juice. And it did that to Strider. And that's why everyone was panicking at the 8.5 and not on this show. We were like, nah, it should be 9.5, but you take in the Arias tax, we get a juiced 8.5. Cool, let's go. So Arias got ruled out. What happened? The line moved to 9.5 real within 5 minutes and moved to 9.5, guys. So there is such thing as an Arias tax. What there isn't, though, is a tax the other way, and that's exactly what we're getting. We're getting 30, 40 cents the other way right now because Arias not in the lineup, guys. He faced this team 2 times last year without Arias and hit his strikeout prop 1 time, 5 in 1 game, 7 in the other, guys. So checked out the Marlin numbers the way I track them, and they're not walking while striking out league average, and they're top 10 in batting average, and they're bottom 10 in power. So they're pesky as fuck. They're going to get on base, especially if Arias is there. And Uncle Charlie is a professional pitcher, guys. And what I mean by that is he'll go for the double play. And I wouldn't be surprised if this man ends up on 5 dead even today or gets 6. Like this number is right. The juice is way out. And I can't bet him. No way do I want to bet him right here. What I will bet is the second pick of the PrizePicks play, guys. I think he pitches a great game, guys. I don't know if 5 and 6 is not enough wiggle room for me to bet his strikeout prop. What I will bet, though, is his fantasy score on PrizePicks over 31.5. I do expect a quality start, and they're facing a guy with the first name or the last name Ho in it, guys. So I expect the Braves to win this game. So quality start gets us 4 points and 6 points for the win. There's 10 points right there, and we do get 3 points for every strikeout. So if he doesn't hit his K prop, shortened by 1 or 2, we still hit this fantasy score because I do think the Braves win this game today. So that's the second part of the PrizePicks 2 pick. I'll recap it all at the end, but I'm going to have to attack Morton with this fantasy score over. And yeah, I could see a game with 5. I could see a game with 7, and I do not get hurt this way. Anything else to touch?
Nope, we're good with there.
Now we get to talk about what you like to call the Blake Snell experience.
Oh, boy. Oh, yeah.
Number in the black book for Blake Snell at the Cubs. 2022, he had a 32% K percentage and a 9.5 walk percentage. This year, a 24.4 K percentage and a whopping 15.1 walk percentage. Morning line, 6 plus minus 146. Closing line, 6 plus minus 106. PrizePicks, 6.5. Where they have his pitching outs under over at 16. Projected lineup, 7 righties, 2 lefties. Before I get into his strikeout splits, whoever had that ringtone on, thank you. There's a song out there. I beat my meat. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I beat my meat. And to that ringtone. So go check it out on YouTube after the song, guys. Strikeouts K per 9 for Blake Snell last year. 2022, he averaged the same home road, 12 K per 9, where lefties 11. Small sample size versus lefties. And he struck out righties at a 12.3 K per 9. Batting average against last year, lefties hit 233, righties hit 213. Well, on the road, 227. I mean, at home, 227. And on the road where he's at today, with the wind blowing in, a 198, guys. So ballpark factor telling me this is going to help Blake Snell today. So what you got to talk to these people about the Blake Snell experience?
Oh, man. I have learned, and Sharpie, I know you said this last year, but I have learned that betting on TBSE, Blake Snell experience, as I call him, can be hazardous to your mental health because whether you're on him, whether you're fading him in any bet that they offer, it's going to be a sweat. That's just how he rolls. You have to be prepared to sweat it out, and you have to be prepared that, you know, he can have 1 strikeout through 3 innings and then end up with 9, or he could have 5 strikeouts through 3 innings and end up with 5. That's just the way this dude rolls. Here's what I see when I dig into Blake's numbers here. So he does have, as of right now for this season, I think he has the worst first pitch strike of any regular starting pitcher in the league at 48.8%. Yuck. Not even throwing a first pitch strike on 50% of his pitches. The Cubs, especially at home, have right around a 20 to maybe 21% K percentage when they go ahead in the count 1-0. So that would be a lean towards the under. You already talked about the weather. That would be a lean towards the over. Cubs strikeouts over the last 15 days against left-handed pitching, 23.6%, 157 plate appearances. It's about average, not the best, not the worst. But with Snell, this number seems to be pretty correct. If I was going to take anything in this, I would probably lean on the under here with the 6.5, just because he needs to prove to me that, one, he can last in games, because he's got a manager who will let him go to 100 pitches unless he's just getting absolutely smoked. What he hasn't done is gotten out of the fifth inning a lot, throwing those 100 pitches. Too many walks, too many guys, too many little singles, too many guys that he loses and gets behind in counts, so he has to pitch to contact. That is where I get a little nervous about Mr. Snell here. So I don't know if I can take his over for tonight. The 7 on the road has been a very shaky proposition for him, unless he's pitching within the division, more specifically, unless he's at Dodger Stadium, where he can tend to dominate. But on the road against a reasonably unfamiliar opponent, only 36 plate appearances from this projected lineup, 9 Ks, so 25% strikeout percentage. That's right on the line for what he would need for here. So it's not necessarily that he won't strike guys out. Where I get concerned is, if pitch-wise, is he going to last? Because, yeah, I know his manager lets him go, but when you get like 4 2/3 in and you're already over 100 pitches, it's really, really hard for a manager, especially in a close game, to leave you out there. So I'm just not sure he gets enough innings to hit this. That's my concern.
If you don't know, guys, you should know. Me and this guy talk every day in the morning. We let each other know what we're on, or we ask, hey, why am I worried here? Or what's wrong? Why is my stomach turning? And, we bounce shit off of each other. We don't steal each other's plays. Sometimes we end up like on Montgomery. Like yesterday, we were both on the same one, but rarely are we on the same shit. This dude looks to bet unders, finds overs. I refuse to bet unders and bet my guys overs. We have different ways. We still win at a good percentage. We have 90 live and only 50 likes. Y'all want me to rant? I mean, really? Come on. We do nothing but bring you freaking money on this show and ask for a like button to be hit. So obviously you like what you're hearing. So smash the like button if you can. It really does help more than you guys damn know. So we don't talk beforehand on the days we do the show. And what I mean by that is we get good content. And I didn't know if he was going to be on his under today or not. And I normally will call this man and say, bro, tell me I'm fucking crazy. Well, he just broke it down and said everything that he would have said to me. So I guess I'm not that crazy, guys, but I'm on Blake Snell tonight, guys, and let's talk about it. This line they played some hoe-ass games with, but thank God I make my own lines, and I put the juice where it should be and what I'm willing to pay. This line came out at a 6.5. It could have came out at 5.5 or 6.5 the way he's been pitching, and I get either which one. And the books wanted to offer minus 146 on a K prop. That shouldn't have been higher than minus 110, and it really should have been plus money. Oh, then the other books came out, and we started to see some plus money, and I grabbed them at plus 104, guys. Now, like I said earlier, I'm 8-1 right now betting props over minus 140. I am not going to ever paying minus 140 anything above. I probably won't pay minus 130 for Blake Snell, guys. This guy has stolen more money from me and my family than anybody else in the betting world. So Blake Snell came back down to life, got me some plus money. It's still right around that area right now. So I'm willing not to put a bunch of juice on him in a spot to where I track lefties different than I do righties, guys. Yeah, I'll drop righties back 2 weeks, but lefties I go by plate appearances. And if you go by the way I go by it and the way that it's worked for me, I'm seeing these guys striking out at a 25% clip. I'm seeing these guys walking league average. Now, where Snell only faced 2 teams out of the division last year with a 24% clip or higher, and he had 10 and 7 strikeouts in those games. Now, the Cubs hitting numbers versus lefties is absurd. They're smashing the dog shit. Like I smashed the shit out of some ladies after being locked up on that 5-year term. So normally the volatility in this spot, I would only put a half unit on it. But the fact is the wind is blowing in, and I only care about one ballpark and their weather when betting K-props. You can get your ass kicked while striking somebody out, or you can pitch a gym and strike somebody out. This ballpark fucks with totals. It will drop a total from 7.5 to 10.5, guys. And the fact that it's blowing in, the fact that Blake Snell can get bailed out when a ball should be rocked out the park, and it's going to just be a normal freaking out, guys. So there's going to be some extra ways, and let's hope that the baseball gods are on our side tonight betting Blake Snell, guys, because like you said, it's a stress watching this man. You can watch a game of all games, or you can watch this man literally look at the coach walk people after walk people after walk people looking, pull me out, fucker, pull me out. I'm done. I'm done. And you know what? He's done that to me. Say, hey, Sharpie, hold my beer. Let me go fucking walk 4 people when you need 1 strikeout. Oh, Colorado last year. I'll never forget it. Anything else to jump on in there?
No, I don't personally mind the Snell overlook. I really, really don't. Like I said, my only concern is he going to essentially just pitch his arm out and just totally throw his arm out by the 5th inning? Because then if he does that by the 5th inning, then he needs about 1.25 Ks per inning, which has been very shaky on the road. Cubs are 7th lowest swing rate outside the zone at 26.3%. So what Snell will need, and he can do this, and he's done it before many times, is that he can paint the bottom of the zone on that big breaking ball that he has. If he can do that and it's not in the dirt, which is where he gets in trouble because he keeps trying to throw it, and you can see his frustration level rising. I have seen that because I watch him a lot. I have seen that man drop more F-bombs on his own pitches than anybody else walking around the mound. If he can clip the bottom of that zone, he'll be all right.
Hey, mental part is huge, man. And even when I was teaching my kids at a young age, man, you don't let frustration get involved, because then you're done. As soon as you just stop thinking, bro, and you get mad, you're done, bro. So at the end of the day, you said something at the very beginning. The Dodgers. He smokes the Dodgers, right? Who do we got batting fourth for the Cubbies, baby? Cody Bellinger, baby. So give me 2 punches from Belly Bomb, baby. And he needs to just understand. Somebody needs to tell him, bro, pitching to contact today, you'll go deep. You'll be fine. You have this wind behind you. Just let these fools try to hit you. Let them. Don't try to overpitch. Let's see what you can do. And I'm definitely glad the wind's on him. If the wind was blowing out, I'd probably half unit him only, guys, if that. But the fact is, I'm going to take in more factors than not. And let's get her done, Blake Snell. That is the only bet I have in so far. Lineups pending on Garcia. And let's talk about these next 2 that I may or may not be getting on. I do need a lineup for one of them. Nestor Cortes, 56 in the black book at the Twins. Last year, he had a 26.5 K percentage with a nice 5.2 walk percentage. Well, 23.7 K percentage this year, and he ain't walking people, 4.3 walk percentage. Morning line 7+ at a +112, now at +104. PrizePicks has him at a 6, whereas pitching outs, earned runs were not available. Projected lineups for the Twins: 7 righties, 2 lefties. K per 9 last year, 2022. Average pretty much the same home road, 9.4 roughly. Lefties, he K'd 11.8 K per 9, while righties an 8.8. Batting average against last year, lefties hit a measly 110. Righties didn't hit him either at 202. He was that much better at home with a 161 batting average against than on the road with a 221. And it's nice to have a guy in here that watches every damn Minnesota game in the world, because that's where he lives And glad you got some golf in that freezing ass town of yours or city of yours. And
That sucked.
what you got to say on Nestor?
Man, first of all, I love golf, but I'm starting to question how much I love it because by the time I came off the course, it was 32 degrees. So that might be my limit. That fucking sucked. The
Quick golf thing. Alex Cora asked him, got off the plane for the series or whatever the other day, and asked, "Hey, where's the good golf courses?" And they laughed at him. They're like, "Ha ha ha! There's still ice on the water, motherfucker."
Oh no, they're open. They're open. You just have to wear layers. So, anyways, so Nestor cooked me my public prop the last time that he started. We had it to the last inning and got several Ks there. So, for me, you might think, okay, the 6.5 on the road might be a little bit too much, but let's pump the brakes here. Over the last 15 days, granted, not a huge number of plate appearances, but Twins, 110 plate appearances, so probably almost 3 full games worth of plate appearances, 27.3% strikeout percentage, 6.4% walk percentage. That is the second largest gap between strikeout and walk percentage over that period of time of all starters today. The other thing, and this is a situation where this guy can play a factor, behind the plate is Bill Miller. Well, who's Bill Miller? Well, first of all, he's an umpire, obviously, but second of all, he is the most extreme pitchers umpire in Major League Baseball. His strikeout percentage, 21.5% over the course of his career. Average umpire strikeout rate is between 20 to 20.5, somewhere in that area. Average walk percentage, 8 to 8.5%. Bill Miller, 7.3%. Strikeouts go up for starting pitchers, or for all pitchers, in games he umpires by an average of 11.5%. That is the highest rate in the major leagues. This guy has a very wide strike zone, and that is not good news for a Twins team that has been undisciplined as hell over the last 15 days. When I think about the 21st in outside the zone contact, overall contact during that same period of time, 25th. They are one of only a few teams that are under 75% in total contact rate. The other thing that the Twins have during this period of time is a very, very high CSW rate. For those that don't know, CSW stands for called strikes plus whiff. So it's a number of pitches you take for strikes and the number of times that you just swing and outright miss. Twins are up there in that, near the bottom of major leagues with that number. They also have the 6th highest first strike percentage. I could go on and on for this one. I have learned that if it's a normal starting pitcher and not like some spot starter or, a guy that just doesn't strike people out like Cal Quantrill or, Kyle Gibson, people like that, I have learned for a starter that can hit strikeout numbers like this is that when Bill Miller is behind the plate, it is a very shaky proposition to bet an under. I'm not looking to bet an under here. I have not 100% decided on what I'm going to do with Nestor. It's over or nothing for me. And Bill Miller is one of the few umpires that has that kind of impact behind the plate.
Man, maybe I need to write down Bill motherfucking Miller. Man.
Bill Miller,
I'm not
man.
talking about Miller time. He's going to be my best friend because I'm an over better. Ha! All right, guys, let's get into Nasty Nestor real quick. The way I track them, and Minnesota is not walking, and they're striking out at a stupid 28% clip, guys, and they can't hit a piñata at a 6-year-old's birthday party. Now, when I look at the book last year, Nestor had 3 of these situations where he's seen the same team within a 10-day period or on a back-to-back, and he had 3 different outcomes to hitting his prop. So, I mean, there's really nothing to read on that there. He can do it, he can't do it, or he can go out there and just push it. So there really wasn't much to read off of that. So when I dig into it, the issue with me with Nestor, guys, is when he faced a team with a 26% strikeout percentage or higher last year, he was 1-5 to the over 6.5. Now, what he did do, though, was go 6 innings in 4 of those 6 starts, guys. Being a 10-day span, seeing the same team, guys, I cannot even look at his K prop. I can't find a clear-cut advantage when I dig through the stuff I like to look at, guys. He's 1-5, like I said, to this spot when he faces a team that he should strike out. The way, if I would attack him, is I'd look to his outs over. He's shown me more times than not that he's going to hit his outs in these situations than he would hit his strikeout prop. But the fact that this team is on their knees, and they're underneath a bridge and they're you-know-what for milk money and they're lactose intolerant, yeah, guys, he did hit that one time, 7-7, when he faced the team in a 10-day with a 24% clip. So it is there to happen. So it's either over or not for me. And I'm content with the not being a 10-day, guys. It just is what it is. It's one of my rules. And you've got to show me something, and he hasn't. Let's talk about the other side of this, though. Joe Ryan. Number 67 in the black book, 25% K percentage last year with a 7 walk percentage. Elite now, baby. 30.5 this year with a 4.2 walk percentage. Opening line 7+ plus 105. Closing line is at 7+ minus 118 on FanDuel. There are some 5.5s at minus 160 that I started to see pop up. PrizePicks has a 6, guys, so you would need 7 or else 6 is a push. Hits allowed on PrizePicks is over is at 4.5. Projected lineup for the Yankees is 6 righties, 3 lefties. After going to Driveline last year, guys, at the end of the season, he chucked his 2 breaking balls and added in 2 others to take his strikeout splits from last year. We're just not going to do that. It won't do him no justice, guys. As you can tell, he's jumped his K percentage up from 25 to 30. So we're not going to hit his K percentage. Small sample size this year. He's still not striking lefties out. He's got a 7 K per 9, but he's jumped his K per 9 up versus righties to a 14.3. It's up 1 K from last year in a small sample size. Batting average against last year, lefties hit 202, righties hit 219. At home where he is at today, 183 batting average against, while on the road 244. What you got to say about Mr. America?
I mean, same premise, same umpire. And the other part here is that Ryan does have a 91st percentile chase rating. So whereas you compare it to Cortes, who has a 32nd chase rating, you do have a Yankees team that, at least heading into last night, they were one of the better teams in not swinging outside of the zone over the last 15 days. Sonny Gray obviously got him on some of them breaking balls. But when you have a pitcher like Ryan with a 91st percentile chase rating, and you presumably have some help behind the plate with, if he is trying to paint those corners, to get those calls from Mr. Miller, this is over or nothing for me. There is nothing that I have seen here, even just with the Yankees lineup. Volpe has been just so streaky when it comes to strikeouts. I mean, the dude went 5 games in a row and didn't strike out at all. And then over his next 4 games, he had like 10. So this is a team that can rack up Ks in a hurry. You always will get it potentially with Judge because he swings so aggressively and he's a home run hitter. So for me, for Joe Ryan at the 6.5, when I project out how many Ks per inning, he has averaged 1.16 Ks per inning this year. Yankees have allowed 1.03 versus right-handed pitching over the last 15 days, 25.9% K percentage and 394 plate appearances. So Ryan basically just needs to pitch his normal innings. So he basically needs to go 6 1/3, and he can very easily hit this one. I think that there's a very good chance that he could do that, especially with, again, our buddy Bill Miller behind the plate. So for me, this is over or nothing.
Yes, sir, guys. I wanted to bet some Joe Ryan today, guys, but I'm running into multiple issues that I like to stay away from. He punched out 10 Yankees 10 days ago, and I've said it 100 times, guys. If you strike out a lot the first time, you should probably let it go, let the over go the second time, and that goes back up to 15 days for me. It doesn't have to be a back-to-back. It doesn't have to just be 10 days. To me, it's 15 days. And I've noticed this problem throughout betting K props in my lifetime, guys. So seeing the team for their 4th, 5th, and 6th at bats versus a guy who murked you the last time. Oh, Lord, guys, they're professional hitters, guys. They're going to come up with a different game plan, whether it's swing early or don't get the 2 strikes. I've seen it too many times. Taking the fact that Sonny Gray just dicked them down last night, something I don't like to see when I'm backing a guy the next day. Especially when they are, to me, almost the same type of pitcher. No, they don't throw the same pitches, but their velo's right about the same, guys. So it just sucks to me when I'm getting 2 different guys. So DeGrom and Gray, they were running them back to back. Like, that to me is jackass horse shit, bro. Like, why? They're both fastball slider guys. Like, what are you doing? Why don't you split them up? And to me right here, they're both same type of velo guys. And the fact that Gray punched him out that many times, the fact that he got 10 versus them 10 days ago is enough for me to make me pump my brakes. Now, I will get in, guys, if they load up a bunch of right-handed bats like they're projecting, 6 or more, and they give me 2 to 3 different guys in the lineup, guys. He brought up Aaron Judge. I was watching that game last night, and they talked about he's got the most ever K percentage swinging outside the zone this year, and that's all they're throwing this guy's breaking balls right now. He's got like a 31% K percentage right now, swing and miss at pitches outside the zone. So pitchers are going to keep attacking him until he can show that he can freaking lay off or hit it. So is what it is, and it's over or not for me here. But like I said, guys, when I look through my losses, a lot of my losses are when I don't listen to my own rules. And there's a few of my rules screaming at me right now. And the baseball gods end up smacking me in the face. So will I be mad if he goes out and hits a 7? Sure as hell won't be, guys. I sure as hell won't be. It'll let me know that I can back him the next time on a 10-day. And I've preached it 100 times. I'm okay with learning a free lesson. And that's what I'll probably get in this game, guys. If he goes out and deals again, now I know, dude, Joe Ryan is that dude. I don't have to risk my money to think he's that dude. Yeah, I think he's that dude, but things don't pay the bills, guys. So shout out to the chat, guys. 62 likes, 82 up in here. We're going to touch on a couple guys real quick. No crazy breakdowns. Jose Barrios. Jose Bamios, I used to call him. But you know what? I've got to respect him after his last 2 games. They've got him at a 6+ plus 125. Do you got anything to say about the kid?
Yeah. So the thing with Barrios, especially last season, had been people could touch him when you get him to go deeper in games, throw a lot of pitches. However, at home, now I know limited sample size, yes. His walk percentage this year overall is 4.4. His walk percentage at home, not a single damn batter. So the White Sox, too, against right-handed hitters in the last 15 days, only walking 6% of the time. So, and Barrios has done, which is funny because he's only throwing a first pitch strike on 54.4% of his pitches. However, has not walked a single batter at home and has a 4.4 walk percentage overall. What that tells me is that he's doing a really good job of recentering himself, because he played many years in Minnesota, and where he would always get in trouble, we would always joke about it as Twins fans, is when Jose Barrios is an intense guy. And so it's kind of like Snell, where you throw a couple you just miss the zone, and then you get pissed at yourself, and then you try to overthrow and overcompensate. And then you throw things that are very hittable, or you throw them further outside the zone, so on and so forth. He's not doing that this year. So I am not opposed. I'm digging on it. I'm actually digging on it more in just a few minutes after we're done with the show. I am not opposed to a Barrios over here because he has really gotten himself under control.
Crazy to speak this, guys. I'm actually leading the same way, guys. I think there's value in the line at plus money because of what happened last week, guys. But we called the trap out last week on this show. They were baiting you with a 4.5, and he went and pitched to Jim and didn't hit the 4.5. So I talked about it with him before, guys, and he had a sit down with Pedro Martinez. Okay, him and Pedro are like this. They've talked in the offseason. Like, you've got to think, bro, Dominicans, they're the same. So he asked the Blue Jays to have a sit down with him 2 weeks ago before his game, and he was doing the broadcasting for that game. He sat down with him. They kept that meeting, whatever happened, tight. They didn't let any of it get leaked out. It was between him and him. And he told him some things that he was noticing from the outside, from just watching him. Like, dude, you're doing this, you're doing that. This is just what I think you're doing wrong. Well, 2 weeks into that talk now, guys, we're seeing the Jose Barrios of the top 3 Cy Young kid, guys. At the end of the day, he's still a kid. He's 27. His prime is just coming now. Like, his prime is still ahead of him, guys. So people tend to forget who this guy was and that he's just a baby. So I did this because I refused to bet guys in my book for just to go ham on him, guys. So this is my test day with Barrios. He goes out there and does what I think he should do versus these White Sox and hit this plus money at 6. Cool, bro. You're getting thrown back in the book this year. I was mad at you. I called you a bum. I insulted your family. I'm sorry. You're looking better. Now, what I did do is I combined him with this next guy for 11 or more strikeouts. I put it out there for fun. I didn't put a bunch of money on it, guys. And I took him with 11 or more with Mason Miller, guys, the number 97th pick in the 2021 draft, the baby. Right now, guys, they have him at 4.5 minus 150. I do see some minus 145s, guys. I can't bet minus 150, guys, until you've proven themselves to me, guys. Like I said earlier, I'm 8-1 betting K props higher than a minus 140. And my lone loss comes from the baseball gods for me not respecting my own rules. Singa over was minus 148. What has he done to prove to me in the MLB? Absolutely nothing, guys. And like I said, when you break your rules, the baseball gods will tend to smack you, guys. So I bet a guy over minus 140 that has proven me nothing, and that's what tends to happen. So I can't bet this kid right now at minus 150. You come underneath that minus 140 line, I am willing to bet my money on you. So Mason Miller is a legit beast, guys. Averages 101 on his fastball, and the numbers are there for him to punch out 5 or more today of these Angels, guys. So yeah, I needed to come down a little bit, but at the end of the day, 11 or more from 2 guys that I think should go shine today at a minus 124 combined was the way I went with these 2. Got anything to talk about the 101?
I would just advise that if you're a baseball fan, even though the A's are an absolute poverty franchise, the most poverty franchise, and they're obviously moving soon. Talked about that with Jose yesterday. Watch this kid pitch because, oh my, can he rear back? So if he can keep control of that fastball, I mean, the sky's the limit. So just watch and enjoy.
Yeah, and it's not straight, guys. It's just got some straight nasty fucking cut to it, dude. I love it. It's fun to watch. Last week I even said on the show 5.5 was too much. If they would have put him out at 4.5, we would have got in. He only got 5, but different numbers, different team, and the numbers say he could get 6, 7, 8. So if you're into those ladders like my guy Big Show Picks is today, I think this guy's worth a shot. Like I said, I combined them with Barrios because I think they both can pull the ladder for me, and is what it is. And appreciate you, my guy, for showing up always on Tuesdays without a sweat. You're always supporting Pub Sports, showing up on all our shows. Tell these guys where they could find you and what you got going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So find me at Spin Doc Sports, and yeah, should have another tout prop tonight, and 8-5 overall in the year. So 63%, 62.5%. That's right in line with where we have been hitting. So Sonny Gray, actually, I would say more specifically, the Yankees' inability to hit a fucking slider screwed us in the last inning last night, but we'll be back at it tonight. So be on the lookout.
And speaking of,
as I always say, with the way Sharpie and I do props, even when we lose, books don't keep our money; they only borrow it.
Man, we've been withdrawing lately, guys. I hope you've been withdrawing and not giving it back with some other sports, guys. And that's the hard part about gambling, is giving it back, guys. And this is the only season where I cannot bet other sports and be happy. I'm a junkie too. I bet stupid shit, but I don't during baseball season because I know it's withdrawal season. So appreciate you all for tuning in. Appreciate the 70 who smashed the like. If you haven't, smash it on your way out. Only bet I have in is Blake Snell over 6.5 plus 104. The PrizePicks 2-pick play of the day. We're going to take Garcia over 91.5 pitches, and we're going to tie him up to Charlie Morton's fantasy score over 31.5. So if you want the breakdowns on them, go ahead, hit that rewind, and appreciate the support, guys. I will be waiting for lineups on Garcia. If they give me 6 righties, I'll get in for a half unit there. And Joe Ryan, same thing. I think I'm just going to stay off of Joe Ryan, even if they load up righties. It's a heavy lean, and I've got to be okay if he cashes it. At the end of the day, it's better to not lose money than to sit there and keep winning money. So that's the point. That's what we're doing. I combined Barrios and Miller for 11 plus at minus 124 for some fun. I did not put a heavy load of money on it, but I put enough to pay for a steak dinner, guys. So Blake Snell, I do not want butter noodles tonight. I would like a steak fucking dinner. I would like it to be carne asada or some type of cow that I'm eating. I will post my meal after the game. You think I'm lying? You think I'm lying?
We will sweat together. We'll sweat together. Like always on the Blake Snell Experience.
Man, you'll even text me like, you think you're bringing them back out? I'll be like, fuck no, I'm going to sleep. Like, all right, guys, appreciate you all. This show is sponsored by PrizePicks. If you haven't, go on over there, use that promo code PubSports and get a match deposit up to $100 on your first deposit, minimum of $25, simply by using that promo code PubSports, guys. Until next time, I'm Sharpie's Bets, he's Spin Doc Sports, and this show's produced by Big Show Picks and on Pub Sports Radio. Some say we be pubbing, I say pubbing we be.